Hello, here's my vlog. Feels super awkward to do a vlog. I don't know, maybe I'm like changing. I haven't done a vlog in the last few days because I've been just working all the time, only thinking about working. And then so not having time to do a video. I can't do a video at night because it's too cold out here. I don't want to get all bundled up. And so I ordered another stand, the thing that holds the phone. I guess that comes next Tuesday or whatever. And then I can use it inside and start doing videos inside. Um, and then I'll be more consistent because that's usually when I kind of have the time. But yeah, I'm working on a page that's a time gobbler. So I'm just trying to hammer through it. I'm building the walls, or I'm doing screen captures of the walls of like all the historical cities of all the countries in the world that are on Wikipedia. And my fans always turns itself on. It's so annoying. I have to like manually turn it off, which means I can't use it as a light because it'll just turn the fan on. Anyway, I'm working on Asia, but I got bogged down because like I noticed all these cities that I didn't do right the first time, and which is interesting. It's like you need 2 passes. I'm a lot better at doing this stuff than I was before. Maybe that was the first stuff that I was doing, but I decided to draw in all of the moats, all the water in the Japanese ones, and then do the screen capture of the shape of the wall with the moat. So that'll be the flag of the city, the icon of the city. And then I got to Jordan and finished Jordan except for this one called Hydros. I think it's called Hydros. Or Byblos. No, it's called Byblos, the Temple of Byblos. And like you can see all the buildings. So I built a bunch of buildings, and I eventually want to build all the buildings. And there's even maps where you can know which one a lot of them are. And so that'd be cool, reconstruct that. And I did that with another one too. Another one in like Iran or Iraq. It was Uruk. I think it was Uruk. Or no, another one. But and then I built in Iraq. I built because I'd never done it. I thought that I did it, but I did it for the Mediterranean, Italy, and Mediterranean part. But the recession of the sea, the growing of the land in the Middle East. I saw a map, and then I'm gonna actually recreate it for every 33 years, because that's a generation. That's how I do generations on my site, because I got it from Herodotus. Herodotus talked about how he went to Sais, Egypt, and we talked to the priest who said he was like the 333rd or something priest. And it was a father to son lineage. And so he calculated in his head by 33 years per generation. And so it got started like 11,000 years before then. So I have a new, so I was like, I saw a map that said 4,000 at 2000 BC. So it's 2,000 years. So you need 60 lines for it to, because 2,000 divided by 33 is 60. So I just did a line through the middle and then a line through the middle of that, and it ended up being exactly 60, pretty much, I think so. And I built that, and I'll go and like, I guess, fine tune it around the whole shape of it after. and and yeah, built a bunch of buildings, like all the buildings. I got started with the rook and built the canal out to it because it had canals. So yeah, it's gonna be it's really cool when that's done. So yeah, I think on this project, like I'm gonna add all the icons and make the links on the page, history page, and then go back and finish Iraq and Egypt as well, and rebuild also the loss of the islands in Iraq, which I didn't even really know about. In the 90s, early 90s, Saddam Hussein built this 2 kilometer wide canal that connects the big lake down to the sea, to right through the middle of the island people, the marsh people. There were these marsh people who lived, 250,000 marsh people lived in the early 90s, 1990, lived in these little islands, and they got around by boat with their canoes, and they and like sometimes the islands were so small it was just like the size of your house. It was like those islands on the side of the Amazon, and it was a wetland, so there were birds everywhere, and they could live off the land. But then Saddam Hussein built that a 2 kilometer wide canal right through the middle of it, and dried all the water up. It just fell into the canal, and now it's just desert, dry desert, and the population of the people dropped down to like 20,000 or something. And so now they're trying to rehabilitate it, but it's hard. So you can see that from space, but and then it was even from global warming, it was drying up before that. So it'd be cool to make it the change of it even from, because there's a map showing it in 1850. So yeah, I think it's like only 12% remains, but from 1990. But it's been drying up even before that. It's a beautiful place to look at if you see it, where there are canals everywhere, and all those cities were right on the edge of the sea. Yeah, so that's going to be cool, and Egypt. And so then I also, over the last couple of days, this is why I've kind of been getting stuck. I've been doing the tours, the Assassin's Creed tours. I got all the Assassin's Creed games because it's like VR. They recreated everything to like 100% detail. And so I did the tour of, I got, like, if you're into history, you have to get Assassin's Creed Origins, because it has so many tours and so much in Egypt. They have the entire city of Alexandria. You can walk the entire city and see all of the buildings, and go inside of the library of Alexandria and like look at all the books, go on the second floor and everything. You can't go up in the tower, which would have been really cool. But they have all the different buildings there, and the version they make is smaller. That'd be cool. I looked for a map. I couldn't see it, but that'd be cool to even Google Earth the map version of the game. But because it was 5 kilometers across, and in the game you can get across the whole thing, and like, I don't know, I didn't time it. But I want to play games like that, like time how fast. But then they did a tour of another one called man, I can't remember. And then all of the different famous pyramids. It's fascinating. I was doing a tour this morning, yeah, all of them, climbing all of them and going inside of them, and I want to show my mom that. And then I'm gonna do, when I'm done with this one, like, there's so much that I couldn't even do it. And I wanted to do it, but it just exhausted me. And I having to do it like and break it up, but I want to do I did a little bit of the Viking one, Valhalla, and which is totally recreated Viking village. So yeah, I can't wait to go and explore that whole thing. And man, I'm learning so much about history because you can zoom in and you see how everything is organized and built, like stuff that I didn't really know, like how the library was organized, and um, yeah, like how they place stuff around the workshops, and yeah, it's really cool. Um, but yeah, so then I also got the one where they called Odyssey, where they recreate Athens and I think Sparta, and I guess their idea of Atlantis. But yeah, then they have ones in the Middle Ages and stuff. Anyway, so I was fixing a bunch of of walls that I made. I made a bunch of walls to that were like 4 kilometers around because I tried to make it all the same size so that you can see the different character of the different places because they're all in the same height above the ground. Um, so I fixed some of those because some of them I didn't actually notice that there actually was a wall and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm going to try to go right back to work now. I didn't get any work done yesterday because I spent the whole day kind of just cleaning up my house and stuff. Um, and I got up really late. Um, I slept last night. I was up. I did get up at like 1 or 2 or whatever to play the game. But and then this morning we went over to the courthouse and went to the protest, the big march against the abortion ban, where we went down to the farmers market and then hiked back and chanting. And we got some food at the farmers market and came back. So it was a nice big walk. We checked out some shops. But yeah. So yesterday I got up and my mom was gonna come over to like give me something. And I told her I wanted her to take me to the pet store to get so I could get a tortoise. Because I went into the pet store the other day and asked the guy if there are any animals that I can get to keep my Tegu company. And he said, well, yes, of course, the red-footed tortoise. And they had one. And so I was like, it was day before yesterday, so I was like, slept on it and was like, oh man, I need one, man, I need one. Because I did like 99% of the work to get it. Because it takes the same exact habitat as a tegu. So most people can't keep, especially like people who live in an apartment, could never keep a red-footed tortoise. I don't know if there's other ones. I want to search actually if there's like desert ones that you could get to hang out in your house, but the red-footed tortoise needs 75 to like 90% humidity, and the tegu needs like 90% humidity, and the same exact temperatures. They said the tortoise needs like low 70s, like not lower than 70, and about 95. Well, I think my pad is 95, and in the cool part it's 71. So it's exactly what it needs, and the humidity is like 90%. So my fireplace is just perfect for a tegu and a red-footed tortoise, and 2 of them just to throw in there. It's really easy to take care of flowers outside because you can't overwater them. So you just water them, throw 2 huge jugs of water in every day, sometimes 3, and they love that, and they just thrive. I put my flowers in yesterday, everyone's except for the middle one, but all of the ones from here I put all over the wall, and then I ordered a bunch more to put on the wall because there's these little ones that don't drain, and I put these flowers in there and they look awesome. So I'm just hoping that they live. I have a whole bunch of light. I bought 5 more ceiling lights that have 3 bulbs each on top of the 3 different lights I have, multi-light lights that I have on the ceiling. And so I have like I think 8 ceiling mounted light fixtures that have like 3 different light bulbs in them. So yeah, I'll keep them real water because all my plants died because they get overwatered, and then I guess not enough light. But then the ones that the overflow ones I put into my fireplace. I have a whole bunch in there, like 15 or something, and I'm hoping that they're going to do great. But I have a fireplace that has glass that goes up this high, like it has this much dirt, and then the same amount of this much more glass, and then it's just mesh chicken wire that goes up to the top. And I have 2 foggers that go full time all the time that dump it in the corner, in the northeast corner, and so it bounces off the wall and then comes back and goes over the glass and out off onto the living room where you can still see it a little bit. And so I bought also a bunch of hanging pots, non-drainable ones that hang from the top, and so it's right there, right above where the bottom of the fireplace is, so it doesn't obstruct the view. But so I can line 6 of them with plants, because hopefully that's where it's like really moist, already humid from all of it coming out. But it looks like it goes down. I was thinking about putting plants on the ground. That's where there's all this fog, but then I can't do that because the ferrets would get to it. I could put chicken wire over it, but I don't know. I figured that it would get in the way of the view to put a plant there because you can see through the glass to see the animals. So, but yeah, hopefully the plants will thrive there. I do have some LEDs above it to light it with. But so yeah, I bought a tortoise yesterday. I got a redfoot tortoise. They said she's 10 years old, and she has a little bit of pyramiding. So it looks cool if you don't know what it is, but it means that it came from a metabolic bone disease from not getting enough light, UV light, and calcium. So, because they're supposed to live up to 80 years, and I guess usually like over 50 years in captivity and 20 to 40 years in the wild. And so even though she's 10 years old, she will still have so many years left. So it was $300, so it'll end up, if she stays alive for like all that time, it'll end up being not that expensive. And I don't think the food is that expensive either. It's just, she just eats vegetables. They sold me a mix for like $25. I don't know how long that'll last, but it looks like it'll be a lot. But yeah, I threw right in there, and she was like, not afraid of the tegu. They just went and basked next to each other, and the tortoise started biting on eating the tegu's skin because the tegu's shedding. It's so moist in there that I almost never see skin. The skin comes right off. This huge piece this big came off. Whenever pieces this big come off, I poke a hole in them and I zip tie them to my chicken wire cage, which has a angle of like that much. And I should do a tour when I'm done. And so that'll help keep all of the moisture in and also look cool. I have all this dead skin. So, and just to collect it and see what that looks like. But yeah, the tortoise was eating it off of, because tortoises, I guess, eat whatever. Like, tegus are supposed to be like raccoons, they'd eat whatever, but tortoises will eat dead animals and stuff. So he was just eating it, and I think he accidentally, because he was eating it off of his foot, it was peeling off, I think he accidentally bit his toe, and I saw the tegu turn around and bite, like lash out and bite the tortoise. So the tortoise like put his head inside, but then they were hanging out again after that, and then the tortoise went over and dug in the southeast corner. The tegu's up in the like northwest corner, north corner underneath the water bowl. Goes in his cave and under the water bowl. So then the tortoise is on the opposite end and dug, but like completely hit. Like all you see is just dirt. I don't know how he did it, but you can't see that there would be a tortoise there. So because I have this much dirt, half sand, half terrafauna, and so yeah, so the tegu is right now. The tegu is underneath his water bowl, and the tortoise is under the under the flower pot. Made the flower pot to go like this, and so I'm looking forward to taking them out and playing. I got really high yesterday, and I was like, oh yeah, let's pick up the tortoise. because I just put him in there and I picked him up and I'm like holding this tortoise, looking at it, and I'm like just like this, and I'm like, holy shit! It's just like, I can't believe I'm looking at this tortoise. I want him to walk around my house, so I think I'll leave him in the cage at least a week. And then I'll take him out and let him walk around the house. And I remember I went to this hostel in Lima, Peru, on the rooftop, and they had these two tortoises that were really big, like this big, walking around. And I thought that was the coolest looking thing. So it's gonna look really cool when my tortoise and my Tegu are walking around together in the apartment. And hopefully maybe they can do it with the ferrets. I don't know. But I don't want the ferrets to, harass, because they have really sharp claws. I just clipped them today with my mom. I don't want them to harass the tortoise. I'd feel really bad if I, killed an animal that's supposed to live a long time. I already did that with a parrot. Stepped on it. Anyway, yeah, so, oh, hey, let me give it a really quick tour, because it looks really cool. Oh, I'm getting one of those today for in the mail, and then I can do that. Oh, there he is. There he is. Give him his food. See him? That's the Tegu. And the tortoise, Tegus lives in there, lives under the water bowl. And the tortoise is in there, buried away. Oh no, he's coming out. He's coming out. Tortoise is coming out. Tortoise is eating the grass. Yeah, they're coming out together. So they're gonna be best of buddies, the Tegu and the tortoise. So check it out. Those freaking things, dude. Whoops. Now, is that perfect? Is that awesome or what, man? It's just perfect size. So if it survives like that, and then you can put them here, you line the wall with these real live plants, real live flowers that the birds can hang out and eat, Like, look at this. It's like I live like in a garden. It's like a forest. I live in the jungle, in the forest with flowers all over the place. Isn't that awesome? Like real flowers, not fake flowers. These are real flowers. Actual flowers, dude. Look at that. Got the little air plant. Look at that. Real plant. Real flower. I don't have fish in here yet. But, oh, and up here, look at that. Isn't that groovy? Anyway, so those are all the flowers. I need to put more water in there. So hopefully I'm gonna put them up on the wall when I get my, get the more hangers. Alrighty, talk to you tomorrow.